My journey with Ecuador started 4 years ago. I just started going to Matthias in 2011, and all of a sudden there was an announcement to go on Ecuador in that spring, the next spring, and I blew it off right away. Some friends had asked me to go, and there was no way for me to go with work and my job, and so it just went away. A couple days later, it was winter time, and the work was slow, so I was asked to go down in the field and chop up some wood. It was nice and quiet, and snow surrounded me, and a lot of time just to spend just thinking and spending some time with the Lord. And I was chopping up wood, and every thought that came to me was the people in Ecuador and the love that they needed down there. And I had no clue what that looked like. I don't even know what Ecuador looks like, but the people just kept, thought after thought after thought, just kept coming into my mind of the people that needed us. Like, and I couldn't put it away. Like, I couldn't ignore it. So, being all new to me, the only thing I needed to do was to contact Mark and tell Mark I was ready to go to Ecuador. And that was the initial journey of how it started for me. And I've been going for 4 years ever since, 1 week each trip. So after my first trip, I just fell in love with it, and my heart went out for the people that were there, that have a genuine love already for themselves, but they necessarily don't have the genuine love of Jesus. And to continue, and my heart was just to continue on and to show them that love in any way I could, to be that light for Jesus. So each year, I just couldn't stop going. And after the first trip, my heart was for long-term missions. I didn't know what that looked like, but I knew I just wanted to keep going internationally, and that my call was international missions and to serve those people.
My journey to Ecuador started with a friend and I were running on the track at Lindenwood, and she had mentioned that she was going to apply for the Ecuador trip, and something inside me just sparked, and God was like, I want you to apply. I want you to take this on. And so that night I went home and applied, and the questions just answering the questions and things just got my heart like really connected with it. And the next day I went to church and I saw Mark, and he said, so I saw you applied for Ecuador. You're going to Ecuador. And I was like, well, yeah, I applied. Like, we'll see. He's like, no, you're going. And so my first time going, well, I guess a friend bringing it to mind, and that was how God got my attention. And after leaving the first trip, I knew I would be coming back. I didn't know when, but my heart was just connected with Ecuador, and I knew that was not going to be the last time that I was there. Even though I still couldn't speak a lot of Spanish, there was just a new love and excitement for the language and the people and the culture, and just that connection there. And God was just showing me, like, I can use you regardless of any barriers. And so just a new excitement for the people, and to be able to just dive into their culture and their language and just get to know their hearts more.
Matthias and La Fuente are two bodies that come together from two different countries, worshiping the same God. They love the same Jesus. We're 1,000 miles apart, but we're still family. Like, we call each other family, and that's the beauty of it. That each time we go down there every 6 months, it's like the family's still there, the body's still there, we're still one. It's just the only thing that's changed is the growth that we have gained in our own separate walks. Getting married!
So Justin and I are getting married this October, and we have discerned and feel like God is calling us to Ecuador for our first year of marriage. So we will be leaving March 2016. We're going with the intent of long-term missions. So learning the language, learning Spanish, learning the culture, building relationships with the people at La Fuente, and just doing ministry through La Fuente. And then after that year, if God wants to keep us there, then we're willing to stay. So through the process of discerning Ecuador, I feel that since I started following Christ, verse, Luke 9:23, about picking up your cross and following him, has been something that I just desire, just to be obedient to God and his call for my life. And with marriage and just praying through the call for our marriage, and it's just been very evident that God is this is what he's calling me to. And reading through the Gospels about the disciples and just how they immediately just dropped everything and followed him and just listened to his voice and whatever he was asking of them. And so that has just been what, through this journey, has just been something that God has been showing me. And my desire is to be obedient to him in whatever that looks like. So,
and discernment and the peace I have with going to Ecuador really comes from the story in Acts where the apostles are arrested for preaching in the temple, and then they are freed from the angel and told to go back to the temple, from the same place they were arrested at, and to go preach again and to preach their story. And that really has been an encouragement to me of just like trusting in the Lord and going to the places and to the people that he has called me to. And the apostles were persecuted and imprisoned, but trusting in the Lord and knowing that he is good, he is a great God, is enough for me. What excites me the most about going to Ecuador is just the new adventures that we will be having together as one. We'll be married in a different country, living out the calling for Jesus. We're super excited for this new journey that God has called us to. And, we're ready to adventure, but we also know that we cannot do this on our own. And that's where we want to invite you guys to come journey with us. We want you guys to be a part of this in any way possible.
So these are some of the ways that you can partner with us. We're definitely going to need prayer, most importantly, through this journey. And financially, we'll also need partners and people that are willing to help us in that way. And as well, we both would love to meet up and talk more in depth with any of you. If you don't live here, on the phone or whatever that looks like, we'd love to just share more of our hearts and our journey with you just through this process.
We just want to thank you guys so much for just taking the time to get to know our hearts, to listen to our story, and we just hope you enjoyed this, and looking forward to hearing and seeing you guys in another time.
We love you.